All right, bear with me on procedure here. I'm gonna still play the new card for a little bit, so. We'll go into 3.0, roll call of school board members. All board members are present. So we can go right into number 4, communication and reports. Going to 4.1, administration and department head reports.
Yeah, we have Mr. Lower was gonna talk a little bit today.
Oh, no.
Echo.
Does that mean if I don't talk like that or? All right, good evening, everybody. As you guys are fully aware, we are in year 4 of our career academies that we've been doing and doing various different things, which we've talked about at different times. But I have today I have Dave Zavrel here with Zavrels, RJ Zavrels. He and his company have basically been leaders in helping us out with the Wave Academy throughout the time that we've started. By letting us use their equipment for different things that we need, that we don't have, letting us use their facilities for different things that they have capabilities of doing that we don't. They've given tours of their facility. They have provided us with guest speakers for different various classes. Dave's on the advisory board for our STEAM Academy. They have offered to allow some of our kids to do internships, and then also give us some scholarship opportunities for some of our kids as well. So that's the start. And now, as of last week, they are what we would call a pillar in our academies, because they are going to give us, they have given us a $25,000 commitment toward the academy. So I wanted to bring him in, and he can present the check to you guys or Mr. Hackbarth or me or whatever. Steph Larson's obviously back in the back there too, and she's our career academy coordinator. She's been, back and forth with him and various other businesses as well. They are, like I said, Zavrels have been kind of the leader in this whole thing and helping us out. And we're hoping that spurs some more commitments from other businesses as well. But I know Dave and his company, they know the true value of having businesses and our school partner, right? Just by some of the stuff that I've said. And he knows that by getting our kids ready to go to his business and work, it's helpful to him. And we know that their commitment financially and by all the other stuff that we talked about is helping us as well. So because it's mutualistic. So he definitely shows that commitment. RJ Zavrel definitely shows that commitment. So hopefully, like I said, it spurs some more commitment from other businesses and other maybe even individuals. But I wanted to recognize him and his company for helping us out throughout this whole process. And we truly appreciate, Dave, what you and Zavrels have done. And like I said, hopefully just steamrolls something else. So that's what I want to do. I want to have him come up and present the check, and maybe we get a quick picture and we'll go from there. So any questions or comments on your guys' behalf? Or
I just have a comment, Madam Chair. I think it's appropriate, as much as we love taking pictures. It's the boots on the ground. So Mr. Lower and Stephanie,
Great.
Dave, I think the check should be presented to you too. I mean, Stephanie, you're the one doing all the work. Brian as well. I happen to have a kid. I think he just ended the academy but the good things that I heard about Zavrels and all the other things that they've been doing. Stephanie had to work outside of the box this year, which was awesome. But we can be in any picture, but it's appropriate for you three to be in the picture. If you so.
No, that's.
I didn't know how we want to do it, but I just know that I wanted to have it be recognized, especially
Yes.
with something like this. It's not a small thing. This is a big thing. So hopefully we'll go from there. So
Yeah, we appreciate you, Dave, and we appreciate the whole Zavrel family and the construction unit and all of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. So
Take your picture.
if we can get Dave up here and take the picture already, right? Move on.
You get one of those giants.
Yeah.
Are you worried about how you
Yeah. I should get it.
and then, yeah, there you go. All right, excellent. 1, 2, 3, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Nice job.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Hey. That's all I have. Thank you.
So Stephanie, before you leave, I just have one question. I wonder, Stephanie or Brian, if it wouldn't be appropriate at some point in time, we brought this to fruition a couple years back, but if we could get maybe some students here one night to actually describe what they've been doing. And I know this year was it a heavy lift for you, Stephanie, to get at least the first half of the year to get things going. So I think that would be very helpful to the rest of the board members. If a couple of students would be willing to come in and describe what. He's free, Brian, he won't say anything. But if it at all possible, I think, or maybe you just to come back and share with, I know it's going awesome. We can see.
There are a lot of great things that are going on with the help of these guys and others, but
Certainly much appreciated. So Dave, again, I echo those. Thanks. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
you.
All right, back to you, Mr. Superintendent.
All right, Madam Chair, just real quickly, I'll keep it brief tonight. Just want to thank the board again for supporting me down at the MSBA conference. It's actually my first time ever going to that conference. It's gigantic. And just a lot of great people down there, a lot of great opportunities. And certainly, as I mentioned in my board report on Friday, I left there feeling stronger and invigorated more than ever. And so just glad to be able to be down there. A couple of things I wanted to highlight is I was able to soak in the experience a lot with artificial intelligence, which is a new topic out there in education really everywhere. But I kind of went into it kind of slowly and a little skeptical, like a lot of people I think have, but the more research I've done and the more I've been around it, I find it very exciting. And I think it's going to definitely change the way we do things in education and a lot of jobs in the future. And so am I concerned about how the impact of, people's jobs and some of the other things? I certainly am, but I think the way they describe it down there, the presenter, it's kind of a superpower that we can have to use to make us more efficient, more successful. So I'm excited to talk to Mr. Lower and other folks about how we can implement some of those things into what we're doing here, or at least look at it as a possibility. One of the things they talked about was the importance of computer science classes, especially at the high school level. And Minnesota being one of the lowest in the nation was kind of surprising. I was kind of surprised by that. So I found that piece of it very interesting. Also attended another workshop that had to do with the power of relationships. And it goes back to the age-old saying of, one relationship, one adult in the school, having a relationship with the student makes all the difference. And so if I needed any reminding of that, it was definitely, solidly implanted in my brain again, that's really important, that each one of us takes the time to get to know a student and the difference that makes. I also attended some legal trainings, never get enough of that. Also did some career pathway trainings as well. And I know that's really important here. Then also spent some time looking at threat assessment. So that was something that we were talking about as an admin team. And so I thought that would be good for me to be attending. Reminder, we have an early release on Wednesday. So just a friendly reminder there. And I just wanted to update the board and let you know that we are working on developing our district leadership team meeting. Talked about it a little bit, our admin team meeting on Friday. And we have an idea of how we want to organize that moving forward. And so got a few people I need to talk to try to get our representatives at the table, and excited to see how that serves the district moving forward.
Any board member comments on? Anybody go down to the MSBA?
I went to the MSBA. I was gonna share with everyone pretty much my highlights, like Mr. Hepburn did. There was a lot of talk about committees and their roles and different things like that. I learned that committees should be defined and have specific purposes, so it's clear to the board, to the district, to the community, what exactly those committees do. Along the lines of AI, the keynote speaker talked a lot about integration, not just having AI do everything, but having the humans work alongside with the AI so that the jobs aren't being taken away from communities, but actually being built on top of. And then there are 7,384 open tech jobs in the state of Minnesota right now. We don't have enough people to fill those. Minnesota Department of Education is going to be offering public comments starting on February 1st for 2 weeks. Talking about if they want to make computer science a graduation requirement. I thought that was pretty interesting. Also, I learned about communication on all levels and how the importance of communication starts at the board level. I attended a session called CCC, which is Connection, Consistency, and Coherence. It was put on by Osseo Public Schools and highlights how the district overcame their obstacles with the application of CCC. I have emailed Lynn about it, and I'm gonna research on how our district could maybe do some of those things to improve some of the issues and culture within our district. And then within that presentation, they talked about non-board business, but with boards, like team leading and professional development that the teachers do that could make the board stronger. I am also looking at different ways to do that that are cost effective, i.e. doesn't cost the district anything. So I am doing that right now. And also I added to the share drive all the slideshows and presentations from the conference. I couldn't attend them all, so I uploaded them for the board to look at to see what interests them. And then it also has the contact information on those slides as well.
Great, thank you. Any other comments? Any committee reports? 12.2?
Just real quickly, Madam Chair, I sent out scheduling invites for finance, calendar, transportation and activities committee meetings. Then real quickly, under negotiations, we're meeting again with MSCA tomorrow. We'll have our third meeting. We'll also be in contact with Principal Group to set up our next meeting with them. And just a reminder, we'll be working our ESST language into all of our EFG contracts here the next month or so.
Any
Or EGF,
comments?
sorry.
Any comments from the board? Moving on to 5.0, the consent agenda. Does anybody want anything pulled from the consent agenda? Okay, if not, I'll take a motion.
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Any questions or discussion?
I have one question. With the resignation of 2 of the social workers, not counselors at New Heights, and one being March 1st, do we have a plan in place for when that happens?
Yep, that's a good question. We'll go ahead and we'll, as soon as we get the, assuming it gets approved tonight, we go ahead and we'd post it probably as soon as tomorrow. My thinking is that we would post for one of those positions because, we have that coming in March. And, I think my recommendation is that we would wait on the other position, until we have a better handle on, what our revised budget's gonna look like, the mid next month.
Okay, so possibly maybe only having one social worker at the school is maybe one idea or something, or?
Well, I think we would just post for the one
Okay.
immediate and then we'll analyze the situation and it's quite possible that we could end up posting for both. I just think
Yeah.
we have the duration of time we can wait to do that, but for now, I would think we post for the one.
My only fear is it would be like the speech language pathologist and we not have anyone. So maybe the longer that we advertise, we could maybe get more candidates.
Yep.
I don't know, just a thought.
Well, we advertise for it and we'll see how many applicants we get and we'll kind of go from there.
That sounds like a good idea.
I guess I kind of disagree a little bit on that. I don't know. I just think that maybe we should just wait and see what our budget is. That's just another look at that.
That'll play a
J-
part for sure.
Yeah, because if we start having too many of these areas right now, I kind of feel like maybe we do already have a little bit too many. So I just, again, one person's thought on this.
Any other comments or discussion? All those in favor of approving, say aye.
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 Any nays? So moved. 6.0, opportunities for citizens to speak not on the agenda. For items not on the agenda.
Have anything, Madam Chair?
Moving on to 7.0 to approve the agenda tonight.
I'll move to approve as presented.
Second.
All those in favor or questions or discussion about the agenda? Yeah, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, 8.0 district business. 8.1 is to approve the E EGFEA master contract.
So I'm gonna move to the EGFEA, master contract. On 25 as uploaded in the board book.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion?
I guess from my perspective, I could just as one of the negotiation team members, I'd like to thank the association members who went back and forth, but I think we came to a good consensus, good for both ends. We listened to them, they listened to us, and we found a real good balance there, so. It may have taken a little bit longer than usual, but we got it done and ready to sign it and move forward.
I would
Yeah.
agree with that. I thought the negotiations went very good. A lot of great discussion. We, obviously, I think the board gave on some issues, as did the association. But I really did appreciate the communication from both sides. I thought it was great discussion.
Any other comments, discussion?
Yeah, I would just also just want to add, first of all, just thanks for everybody's efforts. I think that we had some legislative stuff that we had to work through, the SST comes to mind. And I think that we had to work through that, which took some time. I also think that we addressed some things in the contract that maybe haven't been addressed in prior negotiation years. And so I think they were very important. I think the landscape of teaching has changed quite considerably in the last, 5-6 years. And so I think remaining competitive with other school districts, I think is important to attract and to retain qualified and highly successful teachers. And so I feel really good about how negotiations went this year, and I'm excited to see where it takes us. And I think it was a good contract for both the district and the union.
I would agree. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving the E EGFEA master contract, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. 8.2, approving the school resource officer memorandum of understanding with the city of East Grand Forks. SRO MOU.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Brandon, your mic is not on.
I'll make a motion to approve as uploaded into board book.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion?
No, the terms are the same as what we had reduced, right? It's just reinstating.
We worked on it, some things have changed. But I think that both sides went kind of back and forth, come up with an agreement that was adequate and right for both sides. Protects everybody's interests. Certainly, we're super excited to get our school resource officer back in our schools. I know they're equally excited to have the school resource officer return. I think there was just some language things that we needed to take a look at, and we were able to get it figured out. And I think it's a good contract, an appropriate contract for the rest of the school year. And then at the end of the duration of our MOU, we'll take a look at it again this summer, and we may know some more things by then too, just to see what happens down at the legislature.
When does it begin? Because it doesn't have a begin date on there.
Yep, so I think they left that blank because they weren't quite sure what the date would be, but I was told by Chief Hedlund that that would be this week. I believe he said Wednesday.
I think it says deemed effective upon date of the last signature period. So as soon as
Okay.
it's signed, essentially.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving the SRO MOU, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. 9.0, payment of claims and accounts.
I'll move to approve the payment of K-12 bills numbers 126254 through 126360 in the amount of $217,055.05.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion? Payments of claims and accounts. Okay, all those in favor of paying the bills, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alright, 10.0, we're on to board member comments. Eric, I'll start with you.
Been half part of it. I appreciated you sending along the survey results. I thought I read through all the comments and I thought, obviously there's a desire for us to continue doing this. So I think that was very clear and glad we did the survey. Maybe just, I noticed some of the comments were, do we need the live stream version versus the recorded version? So I don't know if there's a cost difference in regards to that, but certainly we'll need to move forward with the recorded version and make that accessible to the public. So,
Agree with that.
Yeah, I'll second those comments. I thought that was really interesting to see that, I guess I wasn't expecting that turnout, I guess. And now that it is, it's kind of like, well, it's nice to have that opportunity. If people can't watch this and they want to know what's going on, they can go back and they can watch it later. They can listen to it later. I think it's really good to have that and continue to do that.
Lindsay?
Yeah, I would agree with the meeting's comments. Just want to thank everybody who worked hard to get the negotiations and the contract all right away. So that was, I know, a good thing to get through. Very exciting hearing a little bit more about the academies, and I'm excited to hear from some students and seeing that community involvement is really exciting and really important for both sides, like Mr. Lohr mentioned, the community and the school. So I think that's really great and I'm excited to hear more. And I think that's all tonight.
I think, the only thing that I have is, for the board, I won't do it tonight, but at our next board meeting, that'll be fairly close to when superintendent applications close. Last year, or when we went through the process originally, we kind of paused at the point of how we want involvement of staff members. I mean, as a group, we kind of chose which direction we want to go, but I think it'll be time that we have a conversation on what that looks like, which groups are part of that. So I'll bring that to the next board. We don't necessarily have to, everyone asks for it to be an agenda item, but maybe we just do it at the end, or we can even do it before we get into the agenda, just to have transparent and have direction so we can reach out to those individual groups on how we want them to participate when we go through the interview process. Okay. Otherwise, I want to say that once again, thank you to Zavril and Sons. That's huge for the district, and the program only, as Lindsay said, continues to grow. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a few more questions, because we have some administration here, and some other questions. Anyways, so, does any of the administration have any feedback from the Coda the Warrior that came and was in the elementary schools? And I think they went to CMS too. How did that go? Like, was it good? Like, how did the students react? Just wondering if you did that.
Positive. The next experience we kicked off with a half hour, everybody all together in the gym, and then the next day, and then I felt like it's gonna follow the same, but we followed their model. Yep, and then, the next day they were in 8th grade language arts classes, then 7th grade, then 6th grade. So
Okay.
we got some time together. We did some drawing work, did some
Mhm.
storytelling, some really kind of cool things, and then we have copies of his graphic novels in our library, I think so.
Okay. Oh,
So,
cool.
yep.
Awesome. I heard great feedback from my children, so I was wondering how others looked at it. And then the Family Resource Center, how is it going, and have we had more involvement or expenses than we planned on having with it?
Yeah, I think it's still pretty early yet,
Mhm.
but everything I've heard has been very positive.
Okay.
I think that numbers continue to increase. I think that, they're figuring out things. There's more collaboration.
Okay.
We've just been kind of invited to the discussion to see if there's more that we can collaborate on. So I know that, Erica, Jen Modine, for example, are DECA. We're
Mhm.
gonna be working with them. So yeah, as far as expenses and things like that, nothing. I haven't heard anything,
Okay.
to that at all.
Yeah.
I know they wanted a little help and maybe some brainstorming on how we could do some signage over there that maybe isn't necessarily permanent,
Yeah.
but yet looks, professional. So we're looking at some possibilities there, and everything I've heard has been very positive.
Let's see. Also, and then with the superintendent search, since it's essentially starting over, are we moving forward with the rotating members, or are we gonna stick with the 2023 members? I was confused.
So I'm gonna answer that. I think, what I meant by that, before, Lynn took over the role is to continue the process of the members that started it with, engaging with MSBA.
Okay.
So that's merely with MSBA. The whole board is completely
Mhm.
involved. The board will decide at the end when a superintendent is appointed, how that negotiation
Okay.
goes. So it was merely speaking of the negotiation committee that and still Lynn, Eric and myself to still engage with MSBA in the
Okay.
process. So that's why I mentioned at the next meeting,
Yeah.
I'll bring forward what MSBA has given to us.
Yeah.
I'll share that with the board. That's merely all. it was.
Okay, I
It
just
wasn't
was
going away to say
Clarification,
that
yeah.
after the new committees that, no, we're not going
Yeah.
to this. This is, when it comes to the superintendent, it's the board as a whole.
Yeah, okay, I just was wondering clarification on that. And then, I wanted to talk on the live streaming. Like Eric and everyone, I think it's amazing. The responses actually were exactly what I thought they would be. A few that stuck out to me were maybe making them more accessible. Like I realized that you can go under school board and school board meetings and et cetera, but maybe we could add it to the activities calendar, like the online activities calendar, or putting on the district Facebook page so that people know when they're gonna be. Just an idea of how we could make it more accessible for those who don't necessarily navigate the site on a regular basis. I don't know how much work that would be or anything, just, some ideas on how to make it more accessible.
Are you talking about the meeting or the recording?
Like the date, like,
Okay.
so like, the event in the pack tonight was on the online school calendar. Like we could add the school board meetings to those as
Sure.
well, and then I know the hockey has like a little camera button that you can click on, and then you can watch, I'm assuming, I don't watch hockey, I'm sorry. You can click on it to watch the hockey, that's why the camera's there. You know, maybe something like that.
Different functionality
Yeah.
though. That's.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm just
yeah,
adding it to the calendar, so
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
whoever's looking at it can see there's a school board meeting at 5:30, just like there's the PSEO meeting in the pack tonight.
sure.
Just something like that to make it easier for the
Yeah, I
public
think
to
adding it the
access.
calendar would be smart.
I don't know. And it's pretty much all I have. And thank you to Zavrels. That was a very generous donation.
Yep, I concur with all of these comments. Zavrals, that was very generous and we appreciate all they do for the community and appreciated them here tonight. Thank you for the updates on the Career Academy and looking forward to more, and the MSBA conference updates. Those were nice to hear as well. And I agree with the survey was a lot of people took that survey and a lot of opinions, and that's great. We'll continue to record these. So with that being said, next meeting of the Board of Education is scheduled for February 12th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. So I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Aye.